JPS TaNaKH 1917. The Jewish Bible, Old Testament, in English, published by the Jewish Publication Society in 1917. Public domain. JPS TaNaKH 1917. The first book of Moses, called Genesis. 32. 1, 32-2. And Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. 2, 32-3. And Jacob said when he saw them, "This is God's camp." And he called the name of that place Mahanaim. 3, 32-4. And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother unto the land of Seir, the field of Edom. 4, 32-5. And he commanded them, saying, "Thus shall ye say unto my lord Esau, Thus saith thy servant Jacob, I have sojourned with Laban, and stayed until now. 5, 32-6. And I have oxen, and asses and flocks, and men servants and maid servants. And I have sent to tell my lord, that I may find favor in thy sight." 6, 32-7. And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, "We came to thy brother Esau, and moreover he cometh to meet thee, and 400 men with him." 7, 32-8. Then Jacob was greatly afraid and was distressed. And he divided the people that was with him, and the flocks, and the herds, and the camels, into 2 camps. 8, 32-9. And he said, "If Esau come to the one camp, and smite it, then the camp which is left shall escape." 9, 32-10. And Jacob said, "O God of my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, O Lord, who sightest unto me, return unto thy country, and to thy kindred, and I will do thee good." 10, 32-11. I am not worthy of all the mercies, and of all the truth, which thou hast shown unto thy servant. For with my staff I passed over this Jordan, and now I am become 2 camps. 11, 32-12. Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau. For I fear him, lest he come and smite me, the mother with the children. 12, 32-13. And thou sightest, I will surely do thee good, and make thy seed as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. 13, 32-14. And he lodged there that night, and took of that which he had with him a present for Esau his brother. 14, 32-15. 200 she-goats and 20 he-goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams. 15, 32-16. 30 milch camels and their colts, 40 kine and 10 bulls, 20 she-asses and 10 foals. 16, 32-17. And he delivered them into the hand of his servants, every drove by itself, and said unto his servants, Pass over before me, and put a space betwixt drove and drove. 17, 32-18. And he commanded the foremost, saying, When Esau my brother meeteth thee, and asketh thee, saying, Whose art thou? And whither goest thou? And whose are these before thee? 18, 32-19. Then thou shalt say, They are thy servant Jacob's. It is a present sent unto my lord, even unto Esau, and, behold, he also is behind us. 19, 32-20. And he commanded also the second, and the third, and all that follow the droves, saying, In this manner shall ye speak unto Esau, when ye find him. 20, 32-21. And ye shall say, Moreover, behold, thy servant Jacob is behind us. For he said, I will appease him with the present that goeth before me, and afterward I will see his face. Peradventure he will accept me. 21, 32-22. So the present passed over before him, and he himself lodged that night in the camp. 22, 32-23. And he rose up that night, and took his 2 wives, and his 2 handmaids, and his 11 children, and passed over the ford of the Jabbok. 23, 32-24. And he took them, and sent them over the stream, and sent over that which he had. 24, 32-25. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. 25, 32-26. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was strained, as he wrestled with him. 26, 32-27. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. 27, 32-28. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And B said, Jacob. 28, 32-29. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For thou hast striven with God and with men, and hast prevailed. 29, 32-30. And Jacob asked him, and said, Tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, Wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. 30, 32-31. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel. For I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. 31, 32-32. And the sun rose upon him as he passed over Peniel, and he limped upon his thigh. 32, 32-33. Therefore the children of Israel eat not the sinew of the thigh vein which is upon the hollow of the thigh, unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh, even in the sinew of the thigh vein. 33. 1 And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and, behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men. And he divided the children unto Leah, and unto Rachel, and unto the 2 handmaids. 2 And he put the handmaids and their children foremost, and Leah and her children after, and Rachel and Joseph hindermost. 3 And he himself passed over before them, and bowed himself to the ground 7 times, until he came near to his brother. 4 And Esau ran to meet him, and embraced him, and fell on his neck, and kissed him, and they wept. 5 And he lifted up his eyes, and saw the women and the children, and said, Who are these with thee? And he said, The children whom God hath graciously given thy servant. 6 Then the handmaids came near, they and their children, and they bowed down. 7 And Leah also and her children came near, and bowed down, and after came Joseph near and Rachel, and they bowed down. 8 And he said, What meanest thou by all this camp which I met? And he said, To find favor in the sight of my Lord. 9 And Esau said, I have enough, my brother, let that which thou hast be thine. 10 And Jacob said, Nay, I pray thee, if now I have found favor in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand. For as much as I have seen thy face, as one seeth the face of God, and thou wast pleased with me. 11 Take, I pray thee, my gift that is brought to thee, because God hath dealt graciously with me, and because I have enough. And he urged him, and he took it. 12 And he said, Let us take our journey, and let us go, and I will go before thee. 13 And he said unto him, My Lord knoweth that the children are tender, and that the flocks and herds giving suck are a care to me. And if they overdrive them one day, all the flocks will die. 14 Let my Lord, I pray thee, pass over before his servant, and I will journey on gently, according to the pace of the cattle that are before me and according to the pace of the children, until I come unto my Lord unto Seir. 15 And Esau said, Let me now leave with thee some of the folk that are with me. And he said, What needeth it? Let me find favor in the sight of my Lord. 16 So Esau returned that day on his way unto Seir. 17 And Jacob journeyed to Succoth, and built him a house, and made booths for his cattle. Therefore the name of the place is called Succoth. 18 And Jacob came in peace to the city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, when he came from Padan Aram, and encamped before the city. 19 And he bought the parcel of ground, where he had spread his tent, at the hand of the children of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. 20 And he erected there an altar, and called it El Elohe Israel. 34. 1 And Dinah the daughter of Leah, whom she had borne unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. 2 And Shechem the son of Hamor the Hivite, the prince of the land, saw her, and he took her, and lay with her, and humbled her. 3 And his soul did cleave unto Dinah the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel, and spoke comfortingly unto the damsel. 4 And Shechem spoke unto his father Hamor, saying, Get me this damsel to wife. 5 Now Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah his daughter, and his sons were with his cattle in the field. And Jacob held his peace until they came. 6 And Hamor the father of Shechem went out unto Jacob to speak with him. 7 And the sons of Jacob came in from the field when they heard it. And the men were grieved, and they were very wroth, because he had wrought a vile deed in Israel in lying with Jacob's daughter, which thing ought not to be done. 8 And Hamor spoke with them, saying, The soul of my son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you give her unto him to wife. 9 And make ye marriages with us. Give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you. 10 And ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade ye therein, and get you possessions therein. 11 And Shechem said unto her father and unto her brethren, Let me find favor in your eyes, and what ye shall say unto me I will give. 12 Ask me never so much dowry and gift, and I will give according as ye shall say unto me. But give me the damsel to wife. 13 And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father with guile, and spoke, because he had defiled Dinah their sister. 14 And said unto them, We cannot do this thing, to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. 15 Only on this condition will we consent unto you. If ye will be as we are, that every male of you be circumcised. 16 Then will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. 17 But if ye will not hearken unto us, to be circumcised, then will we take our daughter, and we will be gone. 18 And their words pleased Hamor, and Shechem Hamor's son. 19 And the young man deferred not to do the thing, because he had delight in Jacob's daughter. And he was honored above all the house of his father. 20 And Hamor and Shechem his son came unto the gate of their city, and spoke with the men of their city, saying, 21 These men are peaceable with us. Therefore let them dwell in the land, and trade therein. For, behold, the land is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. 22 Only on this condition will the men consent unto us to dwell with us, to become one people, if every male among us be circumcised, as they are circumcised. 23 Shall not their cattle and their substance and all their beasts be ours? Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us. 24 And unto Hamor and unto Shechem his son hearkened all that went out of the gate of his city, and every male was circumcised, all that went out of the gate of his city. 25 And it came to pass on the third day, when they were in pain, that 2 of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each man his sword, and came upon the city unawares, and slew all the males. 26 And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house, and went forth. 27 The sons of Jacob came upon the slain, and spoiled the city, because they had defiled their sister. 28 They took their flocks and their herds and their asses, and that which was in the city and that which was in the field. 29 And all their wealth, and all their little ones and their wives, took they captive and spoiled, even all that was in the house. 30 And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, Ye have troubled me, to make me odious unto the inhabitants of the land, even unto the Canaanites and the Perizzites. And, I being few in number, they will gather themselves together against me and smite me, and I shall be destroyed, I and my house. 31 And they said, Should one deal with our sister as with a harlot? 35 1 And God said unto Jacob, Arise, go up to Bethel, and dwell there, and make there an altar unto God, who appeared unto thee when thou didst flee from the face of Esau thy brother. 2 Then Jacob said unto his household, and to all that were with him, Put away the strange gods that are among you, and purify yourselves, and change your garments. 3 And let us arise, and go up to Bethel, and I will make there an altar unto God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and was with me in the way which I went. 4 And they gave unto Jacob all the foreign gods which were in their hand, and the rings which were in their ears. And Jacob hid them under the terebinth which was by Shechem. 5 And they journeyed. And a terror of God was upon the cities that were round about them, and they did not pursue after the sons of Jacob. 6 So Jacob came to Luz, which is in the land of Canaan. The same is Bethel, he and all the people that were with him. 7 And he built there an altar, and called the place El Bethel, because their God was revealed unto him, when he fled from the face of his brother. 8 And Deborah Rebekah's nurse died, and she was buried below Bethel under the oak, and the name of it was called Alon Bakuth. 9 And God appeared unto Jacob again, when he came from Padan Aram, and blessed him. 10 And God said unto him, Thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name, and he called his name Israel. 11 And God said unto him, I am God Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. 12 And the land which I gave unto Abraham and Isaac, to thee I will give it, and to thy seed after thee will I give the land. 13 And God went up from him in the place where he spoke with him. 14 And Jacob set up a pillar in the place where he spoke with him, a pillar of stone, and he poured out a drink offering thereon, and poured oil thereon. 15 And Jacob called the name of the place where God spoke with him, Bethel. 16 And they journeyed from Bethel, and there was still some way to come to Ephrath, and Rachel travailed, and she had hard labor. 17 And it came to pass, when she was in hard labor, that the midwife said unto her, Fear not, for this also is a son for thee. 18 And it came to pass, as her soul was in departing, for she died, that she called his name Ben-Oni, but his father called him Benjamin. 19 And Rachel died, and was buried in the way to Ephrath, the same is Bethlehem. 20 And Jacob set up a pillar upon her grave, the same is the pillar of Rachel's grave unto this day. 21 And Israel journeyed, and spread his tent beyond Migdal Eder. 22 And it came to pass, while Israel dwelt in that land, that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah his father's concubine, and Israel heard of it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12. 23 The sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and Simeon, and Levi, and Judah, and Issachar, and Zebulun. 24 The sons of Rachel, Joseph and Benjamin. 25 And the sons of Bilhah, Rachel's handmaid, Dan and Naphtali. 26 And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's handmaid, Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob, that were born to him in Padan Aram. 27 And Jacob came unto Isaac his father to Mamre, to Kiriath Arba. The same is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac sojourned. 28 And the days of Isaac were 180 years. 29 And Isaac expired, and died, and was gathered unto his people, old and full of days, and Esau and Jacob his sons buried him. 36. 1 Now these are the generations of Esau, the same is Edom. 2 Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Adah the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Oholibamah the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zibon the Hivite. 3 And Basemath Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebaioth. 4 And Adah bore to Esau Eliphaz, and Basemath bore Reuel. 5 And Oholibamah bore Jush, and Jalam, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, that were born unto him in the land of Canaan. 6 And Esau took his wives, and his sons, and his daughters, and all the souls of his house, and his cattle, and all his beasts, and all his possessions, which he had gathered in the land of Canaan, and went into a land away from his brother Jacob. 7 For their substance was too great for them to dwell together, and the land of their sojournings could not bear them because of their cattle. 8 And Esau dwelt in the mountain land of Seir. Esau is Edom. 9 And these are the generations of Esau the father of the Edomites in the mountain land of Seir. 10 These are the names of Esau's sons. Eliphaz the son of Adah the wife of Esau. Reuel the son of Basemath the wife of Esau. 11 And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Kenaz. 12 And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz Esau's son, and she bore to Eliphaz Amalek. These are the sons of Adah Esau's wife. 13 And these are the sons of Reuel, Nahath, and Zerah, Shammah, and Mizah. These were the sons of Basemath Esau's wife. 14 And these were the sons of Oholibamah the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibin, Esau's wife, and she bore to Esau Jush, and Jalam, and Korah. 15 These are the chiefs of the sons of Esau. The sons of Eliphaz the firstborn of Esau. The chief of Teman, the chief of Omar, the chief of Zepho, the chief of Kenaz. 16 The chief of Korah, the chief of Gatam, the chief of Amalek. These are the chiefs that came of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Adah. 17 And these are the sons of Reuel Esau's son, the chief of Nahath, the chief of Zerah, the chief of Shammah, the chief of Mizah. These are the chiefs that came of Reuel in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Basemath Esau's wife. 18 And these are the sons of Oholibamah Esau's wife, the chief of Jush, the chief of Jalam, the chief of Korah. These are the chiefs that came of Oholibamah the daughter of Anah, Esau's wife. 19 These are the sons of Esau, and these are their chiefs. The same is Edom. 20 These are the sons of Seir the Horite, the inhabitants of the land, Lodan and Shobal and Zibin and Anah. 21 And Disan and Ezer and Dishon. These are the chiefs that came of the Horites, the children of Seir in the land of Edom. 22 And the children of Lodan were Hori and Himmam, and Lodan's sister was Timnah. 23 And these are the children of Shobal, Alban and Manahath and Ebal, Shepho and Onam. 24 And these are the children of Zibin, Aya and Anah. This is Anah who found the hot springs in the wilderness, as he fed the asses of Zibin his father. 25 And these are the children of Anah, Disan and Oholibamah the daughter of Anah. 26 And these are the children of Disan, Hemdan and Eshban and Ithran and Cheran. 27 These are the children of Ezer, Bilhan and Zabin and Akan. 28 These are the children of Dishon, Uz and Aaron. 29 These are the chiefs that came of the Horites, the chief of Lodan, the chief of Shobal, the chief of Zibin, the chief of Anah. 30 The chief of Disan, the chief of Ezer, the chief of Dishon. These are the chiefs that came of the Horites, according to their chiefs in the land of Seir. 31 And these are the kings that reigned in the land of Edom, before there reigned any king over the children of Israel. 32 And Bela the son of Beor reigned in Edom, and the name of his city was Dinhabah. 33 And Bela died, and Jobab the son of Zerah of Bozrah reigned in his stead. 34 And Jobab died, and Husham of the land of the Temanites reigned in his stead. 35 And Husham died, and Hadad the son of Bedad, who smote Midian in the field of Moab, reigned in his stead, and the name of his city was Avith. 36 And Hadad died, and Samlah of Masrekah reigned in his stead. 37 And Samlah died, and Shaul of Rehoboth by the river reigned in his stead. 38 And Shaul died, and Baal-Hanan the son of Akbor reigned in his stead. 39 And Baal-Hanan the son of Akbor died, and Hadar reigned in his stead. And the name of the city was Pau, and his wife's name was Mehetabel, the daughter of Matred, the daughter of Mezahab. 40 And these are the names of the chiefs that came of Esau, according to their families, after their places, by their names. The chief of Timnah, the chief of Alva, the chief of Jetheth. 41 The chief of Oholibamah, the chief of Elah, the chief of Pinon. 42 The chief of Kenaz, the chief of Teman, the chief of Mibzar. 43 The chief of Magdiel, the chief of Aram. These are the chiefs of Edom, according to their habitations in the land of their possession. This is Esau the father of the Edomites. 37. 1 And Jacob dwelt in the land of his father's sojournings, in the land of Canaan. 2 These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, being still a lad even with the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought evil report of them unto their father. 3 Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. 4 And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him, and could not speak peaceably unto him. 5 And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it to his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. 6 And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. 7 For, behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and, lo, my sheaf arose, and also stood upright, and, behold, your sheaves came round about, and bowed down to my sheaf. 8 And his brethren said to him, Shalt thou indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams, and for his words. 9 And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it to his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed yet a dream. And, behold, the sun and the moon and 11 stars bowed down to me. 10 And he told it to his father, and to his brethren, and his father rebuked him, and said unto him, What is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down to thee to the earth? 11 And his brethren envied him, but his father kept the saying in mind. 12 And his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. 13 And Israel said unto Joseph, Do not thy brethren feed the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send thee unto them. And he said to him, Here am I. 14 And he said to him, Go now, see whether it is well with thy brethren, and well with the flock, and bring me back word. So he sent him out of the vale of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. 15 And a certain man found him, and, behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, What seekest thou? 16 And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray thee, where they are feeding the flock. 17 And the man said, They are departed hence, for I heard them say, Let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren, and found them in Dothan. 18 And they saw him afar off, and before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him. 19 And they said one to another, Behold, this dreamer cometh. 20 Come now therefore, and let us slay him, and cast him into one of the pits, and we will say, An evil beast hath devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. 21 And Reuben heard it, and delivered him out of their hand, and said, Let us not take his life. 22 And Reuben said unto them, Shed no blood. Cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, but lay no hand upon him, that he might deliver him out of their hand, to restore him to his father. 23 And it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph of his coat, the coat of many colors that was on him. 24 And they took him, and cast him into the pit. And the pit was empty, there was no water in it. 25 And they sat down to eat bread. And they lifted up their eyes and looked, and, behold, a caravan of Ishmaelites came from Gilead, with their camels bearing spicery and balm and ladanum, going to carry it down to Egypt. 26 And Judah said unto his brethren, What profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? 27 Come, and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother, our flesh. And his brethren hearkened unto him. 28 And there passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 shekels of silver. And they brought Joseph into Egypt. 29 And Reuben returned unto the pit, and, behold, Joseph was not in the pit, and he rent his clothes. 30 And he returned unto his brethren, and said, The child is not, and as for me, whither shall I go? 31 And they took Joseph's coat, and killed a he-goat, and dipped the coat in the blood. 32 And they sent the coat of many colors, and they brought it to their father, and said, This have we found. Know now whether it is thy son's coat or not. 33 And he knew it, and said, It is my son's coat. An evil beast hath devoured him. Joseph is without doubt torn in pieces. 34 And Jacob rent his garments, and put sackcloth upon his loins, and mourned for his son many days. 35 And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him. But he refused to be comforted. And he said, Nay, but I will go down to the grave to my son mourning. And his father wept for him. 36 And the Midianites sold him into Egypt unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's, the captain of the guard. 38. 1 And it came to pass at that time, that Judah went down from his brethren, and turned in to a certain Adullamite, whose name was Hira. 2 And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite whose name was Shua, and he took her, and went in unto her. 3 And she conceived, and bore a son, and he called his name 4 And she conceived again, and bore a son, and she called his name Onan. 5 And she yet again bore a son, and called his name Shelah, and he was at Chezib, when she bore him. 6 And Judah took a wife for his firstborn, and her name was Tamar. 7 And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. 8 And Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto thy brother's wife, and perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her, and raise up seed to thy brother. 9 And Onan knew that the seed would not be his, and it came to pass when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest he should give seed to his brother. 10 And the thing which he did was evil in the sight of the Lord, and he slew him also. 11 Then said Judah to Tamar his daughter-in-law, Remain a widow in thy father's house, till Shelah my son be grown up, for he said, Lest he also die, like his brethren. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. 12 And in process of time Shua's daughter, the wife of Judah, died, and Judah was comforted, and went up unto his sheep shearers to Timnah, he and his friend Hira the Adullamite. 13 And it was told Tamar, saying, Behold, thy father-in-law goeth up to Timnah to shear his sheep. 14 And she put off from her the garments of her widowhood, and covered herself with her veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in the entrance of Enaim, which is by the way to Timnah. For she saw that Shelah was grown up, and she was not given unto him to wife. 15 When Judah saw her, he thought her to be a harlot, for she had covered her face. 16 And he turned unto her by the way, and said, Come, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee, for he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What wilt thou give me, that thou mayest come in unto me? 17 And he said, I will send thee a kid of the goats from the flock. And she said, Wilt thou give me a pledge, till thou send it? 18 And he said, What pledge shall I give thee? And she said, Thy signet and thy cord, and thy staff that is in thy hand. And he gave them to her, and came in unto her, and she conceived by him. 19 And she arose, and went away, and put off her veil from her, and put on the garments of her widowhood. 20 And Judah sent the kid of the goats by the hand of his friend the Adullamite, to receive the pledge from the woman's hand, but he found her not. 21 Then he asked the men of her place, saying, Where is the harlot, that was at Enaim by the wayside? And they said, There hath been no harlot here. 22 And he returned to Judah, and said, I have not found her. And also the men of the place said, There hath been no harlot here. 23 And Judah said, Let her take it, lest we be put to shame. Behold, I sent this kid, and thou hast not found her. 24 And it came to pass about 3 months after, that it was told Judah, saying, Tamar thy daughter-in-law hath played the harlot, and moreover, behold, she is with child by harlotry. And Judah said, Bring her forth, and let her be burnt. 25 When she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, By the man, whose these are, am I with child? And she said, Discern, I pray thee, whose are these, the signet, and the cords, and the staff. 26 And Judah acknowledged them, and said, She is more righteous than I, forasmuch as I gave her not to Shelah my son. And he knew her again no more. 27 And it came to pass in the time of her travail, that, behold, twins were in her womb. 28 And it came to pass, when she travailed, that one put out a hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, "This came out first." 29 And it came to pass, as he drew back his hand, that, behold, his brother came out, and she said, "Wherefore hast thou made a breach for thyself?" Therefore his name was called Perez. 30 And afterward came out his brother, that had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zerah. 39. 1 And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's, the captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hand of the Ishmaelites, that had brought him down thither. 2 And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master the Egyptian. 3 And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. 4 And Joseph found favor in his sight, and he ministered unto him. And he appointed him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put into his hand. 5 And it came to pass from the time that he appointed him overseer in his house, and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. And the blessing of the Lord was upon all that he had, in the house and in the field. 6 And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and, having him, he knew not aught save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a beautiful form, and fair to look upon. 7 And it came to pass after these things, that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, "Lie with me." 8 But he refused, and said unto his master's wife, "Behold, my master, having me, knoweth not what is in the house, and he hath put all that he hath into my hand. 9 He is not greater in this house than I. Neither hath he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness, and sin against God?" 10 And it came to pass, as she spoke to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her, to lie by her, or to be with her. 11 And it came to pass on a certain day, when he went into the house to do his work, and there was none of the men of the house there within. 12 That she caught him by his garment, saying, "Lie with me." And he left his garment in her hand, and fled, and got him out. 13 And it came to pass, when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand, and was fled forth. 14 That she called unto the men of her house, and spoke unto them, saying, "See, he hath brought in a Hebrew unto us to mock us. He came in unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice." 15 And it came to pass, when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment by me, and fled, and got him out. 16 And she laid up his garment by her, until his master came home. 17 And she spoke unto him according to these words, saying, "The Hebrew servant, whom thou hast brought unto us, came in unto me to mock me." 18 And it came to pass, as I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment by me, and fled out. 19 And it came to pass, when his master heard the words of his wife, which she spoke unto him, saying, "After this manner did thy servant to me," that his wrath was kindled. 20 And Joseph's master took him, and put him into the prison, the place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in the prison. 21 But the Lord was with Joseph, and showed kindness unto him, and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. 22 And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners that were in the prison, and whatsoever they did there, he was the doer of it. 23 The keeper of the prison looked not to anything that was under his hand, because the Lord was with him, and that which he did, the Lord made it to prosper. 41 And it came to pass after these things, that the butler of the king of Egypt and his baker offended their lord the king of Egypt. 2 And Pharaoh was wroth against his 2 officers, against the chief of the butlers, and against the chief of the bakers. 3 And he put them in ward in the house of the captain of the guard, into the prison, the place where Joseph was bound. 4 And the captain of the guard charged Joseph to be with them, and he ministered unto them, and they continued a season in ward. 5 And they dreamed a dream both of them, each man his dream, in one night, each man according to the interpretation of his dream, the butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, who were bound in the prison. 6 And Joseph came in unto them in the morning, and saw them, and, behold, they were sad. 7 And he asked Pharaoh's officers that were with him in the ward of his master's house, saying, Wherefore look ye so sad today? 8 And they said unto him, We have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And Joseph said unto them, Do not interpretations belong to God? Tell it me, I pray you. 9 And the chief butler told his dream to Joseph, and said to him, In my dream, behold, a vine was before me. 10 And in the vine were 3 branches, and as it was budding, its blossoms shot forth, and the clusters thereof brought forth ripe grapes. 11 And Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes, and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and I gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. 12 And Joseph said unto him, This is the interpretation of it. The 3 branches are 3 days. 13 Within yet 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thy head, and restore thee unto thine office. And thou shalt give Pharaoh's cup into his hand, after the former manner when thou wast his butler. 14 But have me in thy remembrance when it shall be well with thee, and show kindness, I pray thee, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of this house. 15 For indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews, and here also have I done nothing that they should put me into the dungeon. 16 When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said unto Joseph, I also saw in my dream, and, behold, 3 baskets of white bread were on my head. 17 And in the uppermost basket there was of all manner of baked food for Pharaoh, and the birds did eat them out of the basket upon my head. 18 And Joseph answered and said, This is the interpretation thereof. The 3 baskets are 3 days. 19 Within yet 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thy head from off thee, and shall hang thee on a tree, and the birds shall eat thy flesh from off thee. 20 And it came to pass the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants. And he lifted up the head of the chief butler and the head of the chief baker among his servants. 21 And he restored the chief butler back unto his butlership, and he gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. 22 But he hanged the chief baker, as Joseph had interpreted to them. 23 Yet did not the chief butler remember Joseph, but forgot him. 41. 1 And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years, that Pharaoh dreamed, and, behold, he stood by the river. 2 And, behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, well-favored and fat-fleshed, and they fed in the reed grass. 3 And, behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. 4 And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kine did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine. So Pharaoh awoke. 5 And he slept and dreamed a second time, and, behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. 6 And, behold, 7 ears, thin and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. 7 And the thin ears swallowed up the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and, behold, it was a dream. 8 And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt, and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. 9 Then spoke the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I make mention of my faults this day. 10 Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, and put me in the ward of the house of the captain of the guard, me and the chief baker. 11 And we dreamed a dream in one night, I and he. We dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. 12 And there was with us there a young man, a Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard, and we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream he did interpret. 13 And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was. I was restored unto mine office, and he was hanged. 14 Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved himself, and changed his raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh. 15 And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee, that when thou hearest a dream thou canst interpret it. 16 And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not in me. God will give Pharaoh an answer of peace. 17 And Pharaoh spoke unto Joseph, In my dream, behold, I stood upon the brink of the river. 18 And, behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in the reed grass. 19 And, behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor and very ill-favored and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness. 20 And the lean and ill-favored kine did eat up the first 7 fat kine. 21 And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored as at the beginning. So I awoke. 22 And I saw in my dream, and, behold, 7 ears came up upon one stalk, full and good. 23 And, behold, 7 ears, withered, thin, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. 24 And the thin ears swallowed up the 7 good ears. And I told it unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. 25 And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, The dream of Pharaoh is one. What God is about to do he hath declared unto Pharaoh. 26 The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. 27 And the 7 lean and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years, and also the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind. They shall be 7 years of famine. 28 That is the thing which I spoke unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do he hath shown unto Pharaoh. 29 Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. 30 And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. 31 And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine which followeth, for it shall be very grievous. 32 And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice, it is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. 33 Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. 34 Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint overseers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 years of plenty. 35 And let them gather all the food of these good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh for food in the cities, and let them keep it. 36 And the food shall be for a store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. 37 And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. 38 And Pharaoh said unto his servants, Can we find such a one as this, a man in whom the Spirit of God is? 39 And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Forasmuch as God hath shown thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou. 40 Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. 41 And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, See, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. 42 And Pharaoh took off his signet ring from his hand, and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. 43 And he made him to ride in the 2nd chariot which he had, and they cried before him, Abrek, and he set him over all the land of Egypt. 44 And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or his foot in all the land of Egypt. 45 And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphanath-Paneah, and he gave him to wife Asenath the daughter of Potiphera priest of On. And Joseph went out over the land of Egypt. 46 And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh, and went throughout all the land of Egypt. 47 And in the 7 years of plenty the earth brought forth in heaps. 48 And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities, the food of the field, which was round about every city, laid he up in the same. 49 And Joseph laid up corn as the sand of the sea, very much, until they left off numbering, for it was without number. 50 And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the year of famine came, whom Asenath the daughter of Potiphera priest of On bore unto him. 51 And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh. For God hath made me forget all my toil, and all my father's house. 52 And the name of the second called he Ephraim. For God hath made me fruitful in the land of my affliction. 53 And the 7 years of plenty, that was in the land of Egypt, came to an end. 54 And the 7 years of famine began to come, according as Joseph had said. And there was famine in all lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. 55 And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, Go unto Joseph. What he saith to you, do. 56 And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses, and sold unto the Egyptians. And the famine was sore in the land of Egypt. 57 And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph to buy corn, because the famine was sore in all the earth. 41. 1 And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years, that Pharaoh dreamed. And, behold, he stood by the river. 2 And, behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, well-favored and fat-fleshed, and they fed in the reed grass. 3 And, behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. 4 And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kine did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine. So Pharaoh awoke. 5 And he slept and dreamed a second time. And, behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. 6 And, behold, 7 ears, thin and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. 7 And the thin ears swallowed up the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and, behold, it was a dream. 8 And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt, and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. 9 Then spoke the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I make mention of my faults this day. 10 Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, and put me in the ward of the house of the captain of the guard, me and the chief baker. 11 And we dreamed a dream in one night, I and he. We dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. 12 And there was with us there a young man, a Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard, and we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream he did interpret. 13 And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was. I was restored unto mine office, and he was hanged. 14 Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved himself, and changed his raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh. 15 And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it, and I have heard say of thee, that when thou hearest a dream thou canst interpret it. 16 And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not in me. God will give Pharaoh an answer of peace. 17 And Pharaoh spoke unto Joseph, In my dream, behold, I stood upon the brink of the river. 18 And, behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in the reed grass. 19 And, behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor and very ill-favored and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness. 20 And the lean and ill-favored kine did eat up the first 7 fat kine. 21 And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored as at the beginning. So I awoke. 22 And I saw in my dream, and, behold, 7 ears came up upon one stalk, full and good. 23 And, behold, 7 ears, withered, thin, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. 24 And the thin ears swallowed up the 7 good ears. And I told it unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. 25 And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, The dream of Pharaoh is one. What God is about to do he hath declared unto Pharaoh. 26 The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. 27 And the 7 lean and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years, and also the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind. They shall be 7 years of famine. 28 That is the thing which I spoke unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do he hath shown unto Pharaoh. 29 Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. 30 And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. 31 And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine which followeth, for it shall be very grievous. 32 And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice, it is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. 33 Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. 34 Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint overseers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 years of plenty. 35 And let them gather all the food of these good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh for food in the cities, and let them keep it. 36 And the food shall be for a store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. 37 And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. 38 And Pharaoh said unto his servants, Can we find such a one as this, a man in whom the Spirit of God is? 39 And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Forasmuch as God hath shown thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou. 40 Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. 41 And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, See, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. 42 And Pharaoh took off his signet ring from his hand, and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. 43 And he made him to ride in the 2nd chariot which he had, and they cried before him, Abrek, and he set him over all the land of Egypt. 44 And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or his foot in all the land of Egypt. 45 And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphanath-Paneah, and he gave him to wife Asenath the daughter of Potiphera priest of On. And Joseph went out over the land of Egypt. 46 And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh, and went throughout all the land of Egypt. 47 And in the 7 years of plenty the earth brought forth in heaps. 48 And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities, the food of the field, which was round about every city, laid he up in the same. 49 And Joseph laid up corn as the sand of the sea, very much, until they left off numbering, for it was without number. 50 And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the year of famine came, whom Asenath the daughter of Potiphera priest of On bore unto him. 51 And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh. For God hath made me forget all my toil, and all my father's house. 52 And the name of the second called he Ephraim. For God hath made me fruitful in the land of my affliction. 53 And the 7 years of plenty, that was in the land of Egypt, came to an end. 54 And the 7 years of famine began to come, according as Joseph had said. And there was famine in all lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. 55 And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, Go unto Joseph. What he saith to you, do. 56 And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses, and sold unto the Egyptians. And the famine was sore in the land of Egypt. 57 And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph to buy corn, because the famine was sore in all the earth. 42 1 Now Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt. And Jacob said unto his sons, Why do ye look one upon another? 2 And he said, Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither, and buy for us from thence, that we may live, and not die. 3 And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn from Egypt. 4 But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, Lest peradventure harm befall him. 5 And the sons of Israel came to buy among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. 6 And Joseph was the governor over the land. He it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came, and bowed down to him with their faces to the earth. 7 And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spoke roughly with them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? And they said, From the land of Canaan to buy food. 8 And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew him not. 9 And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said unto them, Ye are spies, to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. 10 And they said unto him, Nay, my lord, but to buy food are thy servants come. 11 We are all one man's sons. We are upright men, thy servants are no spies. 12 And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. 13 And they said, We thy servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And, behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not. 14 And Joseph said unto them, That is it that I spoke unto you, saying, Ye are spies. 15 Hereby ye shall be proved, as Pharaoh liveth, ye shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come hither. 16 Send one of you, and let him fetch your brother, and ye shall be bound, that your words may be proved, whether there be truth in you, or else, as Pharaoh liveth, surely ye are spies. 17 And he put them all together into ward 3 days. 18 And Joseph said unto them the third day, This do, and live, for I fear God. 19 If ye be upright men, let one of your brethren be bound in your prison house. But go ye, carry corn for the famine of your houses. 20 And bring your youngest brother unto me. So shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so. 21 And they said one to another, We are verily guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the distress of his soul, when he besought us, and we would not hear, therefore is this distress come upon us. 22 And Reuben answered them, saying, Spoke I not unto you, saying, Do not sin against the child, and ye would not hear? Therefore also, behold, his blood is required. 23 And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for the interpreter was between them. 24 And he turned himself about from them, and wept. And he returned to them, and spoke to them, and took Simeon from among them, and bound him before their eyes. 25 Then Joseph commanded to fill their vessels with corn, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provision for the way. And thus was it done unto them. 26 And they laded their asses with their corn, and departed thence. 27 And as one of them opened his sack to give his ass provender in the lodging place, he espied his money, and, behold, it was in the mouth of his sack. 28 And he said unto his brethren, My money is restored, and, lo, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them, and they turned trembling one to another, saying, What is this that God hath done unto us? 29 And they came unto Jacob their father unto the land of Canaan, and told him all that had befallen them, saying, 30 The man, the lord of the land, spoke roughly with us, and took us for spies of the country. 31 And we said unto him, We are upright men, we are no spies. 32 We are 12 brethren, sons of our father, one is not, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. 33 And the man, the lord of the land, said unto us, Hereby shall I know that ye are upright men. Leave one of your brethren with me, and take corn for the famine of your houses, and go your way. 34 And bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are upright men. so will I deliver you your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. 35 And it came to pass as they emptied their sacks, that, behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when they and their father saw their bundles of money, they were afraid. 36 And Jacob their father said unto them, Me have ye bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, and Simeon is not, and ye will take Benjamin away. Upon me are all these things come. 37 And Reuben spoke unto his father, saying, Thou shalt slay my 2 sons, if I bring him not to thee. Deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him back to thee. 38 And he said, My son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he only is left. If harm befall him by the way in which ye go, then will ye bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. 43 1 And the famine was sore in the land. 2 And it came to pass, when they had eaten up the corn which they had brought out of Egypt, that their father said unto them, Go again, buy us a little food. 3 And Judah spoke unto him, saying, The man did earnestly forewarn us, saying, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. 4 If thou wilt send our brother with us, we will go down and buy thee food. 5 But if thou wilt not send him, we will not go down, for the man said unto us, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. 6 And Israel said, Wherefore dealt ye so ill with me, as to tell the man whether ye had yet a brother? 7 And they said, The man asked straitly concerning ourselves, and concerning our kindred, saying, Is your father yet alive? Have ye another brother? And we told him according to the tenor of these words. Could we in any wise know that he would say, Bring your brother down? 8 And Judah said unto Israel his father, Send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live, and not die, both we, and thou, and also our little ones. 9 I will be surety for him. Of my hand shalt thou require him. If I bring him not unto thee, and set him before thee, then let me bear the blame forever. 10 For except we had lingered, surely we had now returned a second time. 11 And their father Israel said unto them, If it be so now, do this, take of the choice fruits of the land in your vessels, and carry down the man a present, a little balm, and a little honey, spicery and ladanum, nuts, and almonds. 12 And take double money in your hand, and the money that was returned in the mouth of your sacks carry back in your hand. Peradventure it was an oversight. 13 Take also your brother, and arise. Go again unto the man. 14 And God Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may release unto you your other brother and Benjamin. And as for me, if I be bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. 15 And the men took that present, and they took double money in their hand, and Benjamin, and rose up, and went down to Egypt, and stood before Joseph. 16 And when Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, Bring the men into the house, and kill the beasts, and prepare the meat, for the men shall dine with me at noon. 17 And the man did as Joseph bade, and the man brought the men into Joseph's house. 18 And the men were afraid, because they were brought into Joseph's house, and they said, Because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time are we brought in, that he may seek occasion against us, and fall upon us, and take us for bondmen, and our asses. 19 And they came near to the steward of Joseph's house, and they spoke unto him at the door of the house. 20 And said, O my lord, we came indeed down at the first time to buy food. 21 And it came to pass, when we came to the lodging place, that we opened our sacks, and, behold, every man's money was in the mouth of his sack, our money in full weight, and we have brought it back in our hand. 22 And other money have we brought down in our hand to buy food. We know not who put our money in our sacks. 23 And he said, Peace be to you, fear not, your God, and the God of your father, hath given you treasure in your sacks. I had your money. And he brought Simeon out unto them. 24 And the man brought the men into Joseph's house, and gave them water, and they washed their feet, and he gave their asses provender. 25 And they made ready the present against Joseph's coming at noon, for they heard that they should eat bread there. 26 And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the house, and bowed down to him to the earth. 27 And he asked them of their welfare, and said, Is your father well, the old man of whom ye spoke? Is he yet alive? 28 And they said, Thy servant our father is well, he is yet alive. And they bowed the head, and made obeisance. 29 And he lifted up his eyes, and saw Benjamin his brother, his mother's son, and said, Is this your youngest brother of whom ye spoke unto me? And he said, God be gracious unto thee, my son. 30 And Joseph made haste, for his heart yearned toward his brother, and he sought where to weep, and he entered into his chamber, and wept there. 31 And he washed his face, and came out, and he refrained himself, and said, Set on bread. 32 And they set on for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians, that did eat with him, by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination unto the Egyptians. 33 And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth, and the men marveled one with another. 34 And portions were taken unto them from before him, but Benjamin's portion was 5 times so much as any of theirs. And they drank, and were merry with him. 44. 1 And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, Fill the men's sacks with food, as much as they can carry, and put every man's money in his sack's mouth. 2 And put my goblet, the silver goblet, in the sack's mouth of the youngest, and his corn money. And he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken. 3 As soon as the morning was light, the men were sent away, they and their asses. 4 And when they were gone out of the city, and were not yet far off, Joseph said unto his steward, Up, follow after the men, and when thou dost overtake them, say unto them, Wherefore have ye rewarded evil for good? 5 Is not this it in which my Lord drinketh, and whereby he indeed divineth? Ye have done evil in so doing. 6 And he overtook them, and he spoke unto them these words. 7 And they said unto him, Wherefore speaketh my Lord such words as these? Far be it from thy servants that they should do such a thing. 8 Behold, the money, which we found in our sacks' mouths, we brought back unto thee out of the land of Canaan. How then should we steal out of thy Lord's house silver or gold? 9 With whomsoever of thy servants it be found, let him die, and we also will be my Lord's bondmen. 10 And he said, Now also let it be according unto your words. He with whom it is found shall be my bondman, and ye shall be blameless. 11 Then they hastened, and took down every man his sack to the ground, and opened every man his sack. 12 And he searched, beginning at the eldest, and leaving off at the youngest, and the goblet was found in Benjamin's sack. 13 And they rent their clothes, and laid it every man his ass, and returned to the city. 14 And Judah and his brethren came to Joseph's house, and he was yet there, and they fell before him on the ground. 15 And Joseph said unto them, What deed is this that ye have done? Know ye not that such a man as I will indeed divine? 16 And Judah said, What shall we say unto my Lord? What shall we speak, or how shall we clear ourselves? God hath found out the iniquity of thy servants. Behold, we are my Lord's bondmen, both we, and he also in whose hand the cup is found. 17 And he said, Far be it from me that I should do so. The man in whose hand the goblet is found, he shall be my bondman. But as for you, get you up in peace unto your father. 18 Then Judah came near unto him, and said, O my Lord, let thy servant, I pray thee, speak a word in my Lord's ears, and let not thine anger burn against thy servant, for thou art even as Pharaoh. 19 My Lord asked his servants, saying, Have ye a father, or a brother? 20 And we said unto my Lord, We have a father, an old man, and a child of his old age, a little one. And his brother is dead, and he alone is left of his mother, and his father loveth him. 21 And thou saidst unto thy servants, Bring him down unto me, that I may set mine eyes upon him. 22 And we said unto my lord, the lad cannot leave his father, for if he should leave his father would die. 23 And thou saidst unto thy servants, except your youngest brother come down with you, ye shall see my face no more. 24 And it came to pass when we came up unto thy servant my father, we told him the words of my lord. 25 And our father said, go again, buy us a little food. 26 And we said, we cannot go down, if our youngest brother be with us, then will we go down. For we may not see the man's face, except our youngest brother be with us. 27 And thy servant my father said unto us, ye know that my wife bore me 2 sons. 28 And the one went out from me, and I said, surely he is torn in pieces, and I have not seen him since. 29 And if ye take this one also from me, and harm befall him, ye will bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. 30 Now therefore when I come to thy servant my father, and the lad is not with us, seeing that his soul is bound up with the lad's soul. 31 It will come to pass, when he seeth that the lad is not with us, that he will die. And thy servants will bring down the gray hairs of thy servant our father with sorrow to the grave. 32 For thy servant became surety for the lad unto my father, saying, if I bring him not unto thee, then shall I bear the blame to my father forever. 33 Now therefore, let thy servant, I pray thee, abide instead of the lad a bondman to my lord, and let the lad go up with his brethren. 34 For how shall I go up to my father, if the lad be not with me? Lest I look upon the evil that shall come on my father. 45 1 Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him, and he cried, cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. 2 And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians heard, and the house of Pharaoh heard. 3 And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph, doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were affrighted at his presence. 4 And Joseph said unto his brethren, come near to me, I pray you. And they came near. And he said, I am Joseph your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. 5 And now be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither, for God did send me before you to preserve life. 6 For these 2 years hath the famine been in the land, and there are yet 5 years, in which there shall be neither plowing nor harvest. 7 And God sent me before you to give you a remnant on the earth, and to save you alive for a great deliverance. 8 So now it was not you that sent me hither, but God, and he hath made me a father to Pharaoh, and lord of all his house, and ruler over all the land of Egypt. 9 Hasten ye, and go up to my father, and say unto him, thus saith thy son Joseph, God hath made me lord of all Egypt. Come down unto me, tarry not. 10 And thou shalt dwell in the land of Goshen, and thou shalt be near unto me, thou, and thy children, and thy children's children, and thy flocks, and thy herds, and all that thou hast. 11 And there will I sustain thee. For there are yet 5 years of famine, lest thou come to poverty, thou, and thy household, and all that thou hast. 12 And, behold, your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaketh unto you. 13 And ye shall tell my father of all my glory in Egypt, and of all that ye have seen, and ye shall hasten and bring down my father hither. 14 And he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck, and wept, and Benjamin wept upon his neck. 15 And he kissed all his brethren, and wept upon them, and after that his brethren talked with him. 16 And the report thereof was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brethren are come, and it pleased Pharaoh well, and his servants. 17 And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, say unto thy brethren, this do ye, lade your beasts, and go, get you unto the land of Canaan. 18 And take your father and your households, and come unto me, and I will give you the good of the land of Egypt, and ye shall eat the fat of the land. 19 Now thou art commanded, this do ye. Take you wagons out of the land of Egypt for your little ones, and for your wives, and bring your father, and come. 20 Also regard not your stuff, for the good things of all the land of Egypt are yours. 21 And the sons of Israel did so. And Joseph gave them wagons, according to the commandment of Pharaoh, and gave them provision for the way. 22 To all of them he gave each man changes of raiment. But to Benjamin he gave 300 shekels of silver, and 5 changes of raiment. 23 And to his father he sent in like manner 10 asses laden with the good things of Egypt, and 10 she-asses laden with corn and bread and victual for his father by the way. 24 So he sent his brethren away, and they departed, and he said unto them, See that ye fall not out by the way. 25 And they went up out of Egypt, and came into the land of Canaan unto Jacob their father. 26 And they told him, saying, Joseph is yet alive, and he is ruler over all the land of Egypt. And his heart fainted, for he believed them not. 27 And they told him all the words of Joseph, which he had said unto them. And when he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob their father revived. 28 And Israel said, It is enough. Joseph my son is yet alive. I will go and see him before I die.